Hey guys, Hazel here. How are you doing? So, today, I know it's been a minute. Come say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And I truly hope that you are doing well. I'm sending you all the love in the world and the joy and the peace and all the infinite abundance that the universe is giving us all. So, last night, actually, I would say early in the morning, which is around 3 in the morning, when I was painting. And it's always really beautiful when I am in this zone of concentrating and super focused on just being in the moment. So that's what I really wanted to talk to you about. And also, I wanted to share a little bit of what I've been doing behind the scenes so that you can understand the journey of my own journey and that maybe you can resonate about it. So, right now, I would also love to invite you to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, which is Art by Hazel Fernandez. Hi, Kuya Charlie, how are you doing? So, if you can help me with that, that is really going to be much appreciated because I am on a mission to share the things that God has shown me in all of my journey to seek what is truly true for me. And again, we all believe in different things. And for me, I wanted to talk about why can't we just normalize being in the present moment. So I'm very highly living in my mind, or highly intellectual, if you will, because since I was a little girl, I've always been reading books before TV came along. And I'm super grateful that my parents really did not gave us the television. I think it was probably around 11 years old because they really want us to focus on reading and just being in the moment. But I did not know that. I mean, when you're like 5, 6 years old and you're just growing into, your brain is still developing, right? So now that I am wiser, highly evolved, and not, it's really a beautiful thing when you grow into the person you are destined, or you're also really wanting to grow. And growth is by far painful at the moment when you're going through it, excruciatingly painful and scary at some times because you have no blueprint. It's like, for me, my own personal growth and development is so unique to me, and probably your growth and development is also unique to you because I've never experienced your experience and you've never experienced my experience. So, how do we, and this is, I have always heard this forever, whereby every people would tell me, you have to live in the present moment. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, how can I live in the present moment when my brain is not even catching up, and or my body is still not feeling safe? Now, the world since 2020 has changed beyond crazy. And so for me, it's only 2020 where I started to really embrace this thing called being in the present moment, but not 100% yet, because I was also doing my inner work, in short, releasing the old way of thinking, releasing all the old program that I was taught to believe, at home, in church, school, society, the whole culture, because I was born and raised in the Philippines and now I am living in Canada. So, how do you live in the moment when your brain is when you're living in your mind all the time? Like, a lot of us are still living, rehashing what happened in the past. But that is our psyche trying to heal from the past. If we suppress, if we repress emotions that are labeled wrong or negative, that is going to manifest in physical sickness, to be honest with you. And I have experienced that, and I am not going to hide it with you guys. It was really not fun or sexy when I was going through hell. And when I say hell, it was really dark, scary, the whole 9 yards. And so I'm coming from a place of encouragement because a lot of the people I came to talk to are always petrified and afraid about what's going on. And because I have been releasing the old energy that is stuck in my body and healing, I am able to truly say, oh my God, this is the beauty of living in the now. That is why it's called the present. Sure, it is cliche, whatever, right? However, when you are not living, so my hypnotherapist would say, if you are living in the past, because the thoughts that we suppressed, we have not resolved, especially for when you were young and you had this painful, negative, and or traumatic experiences, if you will bring that crap into your present moment, and it'll bleed in everything in your life, your relationships, your work, your money, the whole thing. So I am so happy to be in this place where I can open my heart and feel safe in my mind, in my body, and in my heart and my soul, and sharing what I have learned so far and still learning, because I love learning and unlearning the old. Because I feel that if you're not present, that's why you feel anxious. No, hold on. You feel that fear. Fear is not an emotion, actually. Stress is different. Anxiety is different. And so now I feel that I am so credible to talk about it more because I experienced it in the flesh. It's truly a beautiful thing when you get to the other side where you feel so much joy, so much peace, and abundance, like everywhere. You feel it because you're in the present moment. Nothing can touch you except, of course, Blessed Wednesday, Hazel. Hi, Ate Rose. How are you doing? Kumustamos? So, this is what I'm going to share with you all, because maybe a lot of you who did not know me, maybe you only know me from way back when I was still not aware of who I am and not wise enough to understand what's going on, is that, oh my God, it was such a, I feel like I'm so happy that I am here, but I'm also having this compassion for everybody who is alive right now who are missing the beauty of the present moment. So when people are going to ask me, like, how would you say that you're the most happiest and joyful and abundant in the midst of a pandemic? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I have everything that I need. But again, because I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm better than any one of you guys. I am also in this journey. We're all in this journey, but different awareness, like self-awareness. So now I was like, oh my God, I need to share this to those who are willing and having an open heart. Because if you don't have an open heart, you will never care to understand what I'm trying to say. And or maybe you're going to judge me because, like, what the crap are you talking about, Hazel? It's okay. So the more I look within myself, and the more I say, Ate Rose, can you please share this video? Thank you. The more I look inside of myself and say, oh my God, I have so much to unlearn and I have so much to learn from. And I am in this new world of truly growth and development. It is a beautiful freaking feeling to get to the side where I am. But when you're going through the darkness, you're going through your anxiousness and your depression, it's bloody dark because there's no light. But it's the perfect place for the caterpillar to be in this cocoon in order for her to become a beautiful, gorgeous butterfly. So when the people around me would say, how can you say you're not afraid about the future? Of course, I'm going to have that fear. But, hi, Charming. However, I am not going to let the future, let's say, like future thought, like the thoughts that's coming in. I don't believe in the thoughts that's coming in and out of it. They're just clouds floating in and out of my consciousness because I am the seer, the experiencer, if you will, of the whole experience. I am not my age. Yes, this pandemic has been a blessing for myself. Yay! Oh my God, how is it for you? Share it with me. And only if you let your heart be broken into a gazillion pieces that you are going to feel everything, including the not so good things. But if you think, now I'm coming from a place of compassion because it took me a long time to get to this place, right? And so I said, how can I be in the present moment when I still have some recurring thoughts that are coming in and out of my consciousness? But I never, yes, you are preaching to the choir. Hopefully people are having an open heart surgery according to Ian Lavansan. So for me, it's like, okay, how can I be in the present moment when my mind is still trying to make sense of what happened in the past? Now, let's be honest. When we have unresolved things from our childhood, adolescence, and younger days, you can never truly say you are in the present moment because you are going to be stuck in your mind. And I have so many friends that I've now sort of let go because they're still living in their mind. They're disassociating and they're not in their body. And I get it. When you are not feeling safe, whole, love, and again, this is what I am looking forward to share and teach to a very small amount of the people who are willing to do the work inside out, because honestly, this is it. This is the only thing that matters now, today, the present moment. The past is gone. The future, we don't know what's going to happen. This is it. How can we normalize living in the present moment? I learned I wasn't careful enough. What do you mean by I learned I was not careful enough? Can you share a little bit more? So how can we normalize this, guys? For me, obviously, I'm so grateful that I have a lot of great support in terms of emotional support, everything support around me, and having that safe environment to heal and grow and rebuild, right? Because the whole world is going through a global traumatic experience. I am not going to minimize that. I have my own fears too. However, the more I grow higher and higher, and the more I don't get too caught up with in my emotions and crazy, because when you think of something fearful, so thoughts and feelings, at the Alma, hello, with thoughts and feelings, our emotions are connected. I started painting July 28, 2020. I sat still and God moved through me. It has been with healing from childhood hurts and confusion. Oh my God, charming. You are so right. Okay. My aha moment and the healing thing happened in 2016. I was going through this painful, physical, painful experience in my body, that I can exactly say that I was going through this bleeding woman syndrome, literally, and emotionally and physically. Oh, with germs, yes. But that's a coping mechanism. Everybody around the world who are alive has developed this coping mechanism. So in 2016, I was so in the dark. I did not know what's going on in my life, and that was really the I can say now in all honesty that my breakdowns are my breakthroughs, and the growing up is so painful yet so beautiful at the same time. And I can even feel literally that I am this. I've never been pregnant, and I'm sure I am never gonna be. But that feeling of having to feel that labor of the pain, oh my God, the pain. So I'm so happy and grateful now that my pain is actually a great teacher and a healer too. So in 2016, I started to remember I wanted to paint, and I don't know, for some odd reason, I have so many passions. And there was one time in 2016 where I was in bed and I was trying to watch something to distract me from my pain. And then I saw Bob Ross on Netflix, and he was teaching people to paint. And I was like, are you kidding me? Again, my inner critic was still not my friend at the time. And I was like, who is this guy with a perm in his head, and he's talking to, it feels like he was talking to me one on one, and he is like, you can paint just like me. And I'm like, what? And so I was so convinced that day that the next day I went to the art supplies, and I went and bought all the materials and art supplies in order for me to start painting. And I went into a room where I could be super alone with myself. And I said to myself, what do I want to paint? And then I thought, okay, well, then I really truly wanted to paint my childhood home, my parents' home, where at that time I developed this crazy imagination and dreaming big, living in a small town. Okay. And so I said, okay, I'm going to create this house. I'm going to rebuild that house and everything. And for so long, I couldn't recreate that. I couldn't. I was feeling blocked, and I felt like, what the hell? And I was so confused and mad at myself that I couldn't paint. So I was so angry at the time that I just threw a bunch of colors on canvas, and I was like, okay, I'm super done with this. I thought I can do this, but I was really doubting myself at that time. And you know what happened? Guess what? Tell me in the comment section below. So I was like, am I gonna be able to really paint my parents' house or not? Because to be honest with you, it was my first time to paint on canvas. I have done painting before, but on bond paper, on my notebook, using cheap watercolor paints when I was 11 years old. So at 39 and really using this professional art materials, oh, I have to say, very intimidating, to be honest with you. Totally. So I was like, fine. And because I was so emotional, and again, I did not know so many things at that time. There's so many things that are unfolding. And I threw a bunch of crazy colors. And for some reason, the colors that I used at that time were yellow and orange. Okay, yellow and orange. Can you imagine where this is going? And at that time, I was like, but I've already painted a house, okay, beautiful. And I said, okay, great. Then all of a sudden, I had this out of body experience where I just remember, oh my God, this was my experience. I was brought back to, like, how could I be in the present moment when my brain is not, my brain and my heart are not working together. Okay, so that is, just join me in here, be patient, because I am trying to recollect from the past experience and bringing you in the moment with this experience that I am loving. And so anyways, then all of a sudden I see myself transported back to my childhood self, which was like, no, 14 years old, this is like teenager. And I said, oh my God, I had this block, creative block, because I was back to this 14 years old self of me seeing my childhood home engulf with fire, So imagine 14 years old looking at your house, like just traumatic, right? I was like, oh my God, my dreams are over. Like, what is going on? And everybody in this little town are watching me. And I don't know what they're doing, but I was petrified. It felt like I was so naked and afraid, honestly. And so I'm looking at this canvas and I'm like, just crying my hearts out, crying like crazy that I've cried before. But this was like, why am I crying so much? But this was my introduction to feeling my emotions, the negative ones, if you will. Although there's no negative and positive, but for the sake of discussion, we're going to label it for the rest of the world to understand. So I grasped my heart and I said, oh my God, I'm back to this 14 years old self that was afraid and petrified and did not know what's happening, right? But then I was 39. And this is where I have to be really patient and truly kind when it was so hard, and compassionate. Like, what is happening? But mind you, I have already been doing a self-help. I have already been doing a lot of therapy and a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. But no, I have not been into the somatic experiencing. We're releasing all the stuck energy inside my mind, my body. Like, not yet. Because, hi Liam, because when your body, remember, your body is your subconscious mind, you remember everything. Like, our brain is amazing and our mind is awesome, but when it is stuck in the past or worried about the future, then you can never be in the freaking present moment. This is the reason why I have seen a lot, me included, I've seen a lot of adults self-sabotaging their lives because they're not able to get to that place of releasing the stuck energy in your body, embracing the pain and the beauty at the same time, because it is super confusing when your brain is sort of fractured, or your mind, your psyche, if you will, is fractured for the many, many micro and macro painful experiences in the past. So, fast forward 2020. I don't know what happened, but I think my soul just came back into my body and I was like, what is happening? And 2020 was when I really started to say, I am going to paint. Because honestly, there are really times, I don't know if you feel this, tell me in the comment section below if that sometimes there are moments where you cannot express your emotions or you cannot even explain, and you don't have to. But I just recognize that when you are painting, this is for self-taught. I'm a self-taught artist since 2016. And I was like, oh my God, when I am painting, I don't know, tell me in the comment section below, help me out. When you are painting and you're in the moment, and I'm saying this with so much compassion to everybody who is watching this replay in current video, is that can you remember when you were just a little girl or a little boy, when you were painting and coloring, you are in the freaking moment. You're not thinking, oh my God, I'm going to make this beautiful and I'm not going to go outside the lines and this and that. You are in the present moment. However, when you are not in the present moment, your monkey brain, right? The amygdala and everything. Oh my God, I wish I can connect this in a very easy, peasy way. I'm doing my best. Is that when you become an adult and there's a part of yourself, your inner child that you have abandoned. Thank you for watching. Thank you. And please share this with your friends that help each other out. If you are not in the moment, again, when we were children, when you were just a little boy or a little girl, can you recall a memory where you're like, fudge, I am in this present moment where I can do anything, I can be whatever I want, I can just do magic, right? But when you're the best, Hazel. Sin, thank you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So when you are not in the present moment, like right now, you're not in the present moment. And then you feel this fear. You're watching this crappy news that are filled with propaganda. And you're afraid that, oh my God, the universe hate my guts and this and that. And you're creating these crazy stories because it's just the psyche telling you that you need to heal. But if you suppress your emotions, you are really pretending that it's not there. When it's there, then that is when we see physical manifestations, physical illnesses around us. And oh my God, if only we can have that heart that is willing to expand and feel that we're all in this together, that we are more united more than very different, we are more alike. We have one color of blood, which is red, regardless of your education, your age, your bank account, your educational degree, your experiences, whatever. We bleed the same blood. Do you feel me? We bleed the same blood. We have the same color of blood. So we're technically really brothers and sisters, but just different mothers and fathers and different geography, because that's just what happens when you live in the North Pole or you live in South Africa or wherever you live in the world, or in Asia, where I came from. So how can we normalize to be living in the present moment? The only way I know how, and I am now sharing this with you with all my heart and soul, is that you commit to feeling your emotions that you've abandoned when you were just a child, because God, you have survived a crazy, painful situation. And I love everybody of you who are doing your work inside out when nobody is watching but God. And whether you believe in God or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is, for all of the adults who are now, let's say I don't have children, and thank God that I don't, because if I would have, I would lose my brains, because I was going through my own pain. I didn't even know, carrying it for 40 million years, right? That's a lot of heavy weight. And so the moment I commit to my healing and feeling everything, regardless of how painful that was for many, many years, now I can have this empathy for everybody around me, and not judging them, but just loving them because they are in pain. The haters, the judgmental people, the quote unquote negative or the complainers are really just craving to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be embraced, to be in that safe environment. And you can never heal when you are in the same place of abuse or unsafe environment. Your body and your mind will never get you to that present time, ever. And so I was like, what is going on? I'm so grateful that now I can say, thank you, pain. Thank you for everything. Thank you, guilt. Thank you, shame. Because everything that I've gone through, everybody has experienced that too, but different circumstance. Are you feeling me right now? Like, let me have the love and let me feel that you get me. And so I was like, oh my God, I now understand, because I felt it to the cellular level, like to the every single cell of my being, whereby, oh, now I understand why I was projecting my crap. And so this is the very reason why it's so important to do your inner work, because you alone can rescue you. You alone can help you. Thank you, Sin. You alone can, when you heal yourself, okay, we are all divinely connected, regardless of our own belief systems and old conditioning, is that when you let go, okay, fine. When you're triggered, for example, I was like, how can I just stay in the present moment when my brain is bringing me back to 1987 or whatever? I'm just pulling this up from out of nowhere. How can you bring yourself? It's called reparenting. You become your own loving, nurturing, caring parent. So you bring yourself in this present moment and you look around and say, oh, there's no tiger, there's no crazy person trying to hurt me. And you really embrace yourself and say, I am safe. I'm going to be okay, even if I'm not feeling okay. And just relax and let go. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. This is for the bravery. This is what Bob Ross would say, the bravery test of your soul. Your soul is this perfect, amazing thing. That is, when you align it with your passion, your purpose, and everything else, things are going to be super easy. Things should not be super difficult, because life should not be difficult. It's just when we're creating these crazy BS stories in our head that life is difficult. It's not. And so I was like, wow. Because when you're in the present moment, you have a roof on top of your head, you have food on the table, you have your loved ones, and if you are not having them, you are your main lover, your caregiver, your own parent, your best friend, your everything else. You do not need anybody at this point, because you are home within yourself. Mind, body, spirit, soul, the whole gang is inside you. You're not in the past. You're not in the future. You are in the present moment. You feel me? So hope you share this, guys. So now, when you are in the present moment, nothing and nobody can touch you when you feel so much peace, so much joy, and safety. But when you believe the crazy thoughts that's floating in and out, which is more or less 65,000 thoughts that are just regurgitating from the past experiences, especially the painful ones, that's when we cannot be in the present moment. So I hope that this video is going to be something that you can take solace a little bit, because I am not taking this lightly to be speaking to you from a place of confidence and not bragging. I just felt like I wish that I have known this earlier on, so that but again, wishing, schmishing, whatever, it is really truly a gorgeous experience. It's a journey. That is why we have to embrace the process. We trust the process regardless of what's happening around the world today. And I know sometimes it's hard to understand, and I just pray and I really hope that everybody is doing their job and taking care of yourself when you feel afraid, because feeling afraid is okay. Being okay is okay also, but not being kind, not being compassionate with yourself is not cool. This should be our normal too. So, who is this person? I forgot her name, Kristen Neff or something, whereby when you are being mad at yourself, when you are not being in the present moment. Hello, champion. Thank you, Anderson. Champions, support champions. Thank you. I hope you're doing well in there. So let's shine our light so brightly and let's go back home to love, which is loving ourselves first. Because if we cannot love ourselves completely and accept ourselves for who we are, how can we love our neighbors? How? We can't. We just can't. And am I sounding like preachy to you? I hope not. I am just freaking excited and sharing this beautiful experience that I have understood now with the wiser part of myself, that when you let go, when you're willing to really let go and let God and let the present moment take over, oh my God, that is when your life is going to blossom into this beautiful, gorgeous butterfly. You are going to shine your light so bright that nobody can stop it. Nobody. Except the old you, obviously. So I hope and I really truly want to be here with you in the present moment, saying that if we can commit to loving and accepting what is, not what we don't have, not what we cannot have, not if you can right now say, this is radical acceptance, by the way, and radical surrender, the power of surrender in the present moment. Like, okay, great, I don't know what's going on and I don't know yet. That's fine. And you've already survived and thrived from the past. You're here watching me, right? You've already slayed a lot of dragons in the past, correct? So of course you can do this again. You gotta remind yourself of how strong you were, even when you were not super strong. You were pretending at the time, right? And so I am so excited that I'm able to like now sort of understand the whole shenanigans, because the only way to be normalizing the present moment is right here, right now with your mind, with your body, in the present moment. So let me give you an example of trying to be in the moment. So what I learned is that if I'm afraid, for example, or scared, that I will put my left arm like hugging me, for example, and then embracing no, so left hand to my right, to have a safe container for your body to feel that, oh, I am in the present moment. Because your mind is crazy if you're going to let it. It's going to go bring you crazy things and crazy thoughts if you're going to let it. But you, the wiser part of yourself, the evolved part of yourself, the amazing champion that you are, knows this. From It's a primal thing, right? The reason why we're still here is because we evolve from places that are lower to a higher and higher frequency. And oh my god, the more you grow, the more you are high up in the sky, if you will, in terms of energy. And quantum leap is that you are going to feel great. And let's send love and light and compassion and kindness to those people. Some of them could be your family and friends, and love them from a place of wholeness. Okay? So, thank you again for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for sharing your thoughts. And thank you for sharing this. If you are watching the replay, thank you as well. And so I hope that this is a little bit of brought a little bit of encouragement to you wherever you are in your journey with life right now. Okay, and I will see you again soon. Bye.